Good heavens, it's time for Chapter 17 of The Girl Who Speaks Bear by Sophie Anderson, illustrated by Kathrin, Honesta, and published by Usborne. Chapter 17 is called The Bear Cave. I finished the story longing to roam deep in the forest, to find all the wonders of my grandmother's world. My world. The forest was my home once too. The sky is lightening. Dawn is coming. Snow drips and birds fidget in the branches above. Mousetrap is asleep against Blackistone's legs, a fishbone in his arms and his belly bulging. Blackistone's head is resting on his soft feathered crest and his eyes are closed. My gaze drifts to the blue mountain. At that moment the sun peeps above the treetops and throws a brilliant shaft of glowing sunlight onto its peak. I rise to my feet. The urge to find my grandmother ballooning inside me. The hope that she will know the answers to my questions is like a breeze and a storm all at once, lifting me, tugging me, spinning me round. I need to go to the bear cave, I whisper to Elena, not wanting to wake the others. What now? Elena asks. You haven't slept all night or had breakfast. I'm not tired or hungry. My feet are burning, the urge to leave now overwhelming. Would you do me a favour? Of course. Take care of Yuri. His wounds need to heal, and I hesitate, bracing myself for what I'm about to say. Can you take care of Mousetrap too? I rush the words out before I can change my mind. Elena nods, although her eyes are tight with concern. You know, we could all go together. My house could take us. I shake my head. This is something I have to do on my own. I look into Elena's eyes, hoping she'll understand, because I can't find the right words. I need to figure out who I am. And I love Mousetrap, but he can't help me with this. He only sees me as the human girl he lives with, and that's not what I am anymore. All right. Elena throws her arms around me. They barely reach halfway, and tears well in my eyes as I think of Mamuchka's hugs, but I blink them away. I'll take my Mousetrap to the house. Elena releases me, takes a step back. But if you change your mind, or if you need anything, just shout. The house senses everything in the forest for miles around. Thank you. I force a smile, and despite the doubts crowding in around me, I turn and walk away. The peak of the blue mountain dips out of sight behind the canopy, but I know which way to go. I feel it as a pull in my chest and a tingle in my toes. With each step, excitement rises in me like a swarm of bees. Everything sparkles in the morning light. Dew glistens on spiderwebs. Melt water glazes rough bark, and new buds gleam like amber buds on the tips of branches. Spring is coming. Everything is changing, and the forest feels fresh and new. When the mountain appears again, above a young, swaying willow, I scan its face for signs of the bear cave and the bear, Tsarina. Until now, she's only existed in stories and dreams and memories so old that they feel like imaginings, but she's close. And she's real, my grandmother. She'll know the truth of my past and where my future lies. I wonder how she feels waking after her long winter sleep. Perhaps it's a nice feeling, like waking in a sun-warmed bed. Or maybe it will leave her thick-headed and bad-tempered, like when you're pulled from slumber too soon. She'll be hungry after months of not eating. Anatoly told me at this time of year bears want meat. He said, be wary of bears in spring. What if she doesn't remember me? What if she's not there at all? My nerves crackle as I draw close to the mountain, and by the time I reach the base of it, I'm so charged with electricity I feel like I'm glowing. I gaze up at the peak, which is hidden by mist, and the fur on the back of my legs lifts. Yanka! Yanka the bear! A bullfinch calls. I suppress the urge to run. I pick out a rough trail that zigzags its way between the steep rocks and began the ascent. Slowly and carefully. I'm not sure how far away the bear cave is. I need to pace myself. And my legs are strong, but they're heavy, and scrambling uphill is hard work. Tiredness gathers in my muscles, and I think of Elena reminding me I didn't sleep last night or have breakfast today. The higher I climb, the colder it gets. So by the time I reach above the tree line, it feels like midwinter instead of spring. But I stop anyway, to rest and look at the view. The sky is clear all the way to a distant, glimmering horizon. Far away in the northeast, flares of orange light shine through thick black smoke. That must be the fiery volcano where lava streams down jagged rocks, pools into blistering hollows, where Smay the fire dragon lives, the dragon who, I now know, killed my parents. I squint at the light and smoke until my eyes are sore. Part of me longs to catch a glimpse of a fiery tail or wing, but I don't see anything. Soon my nose and ears are numb from the cold, so I move on. After the next bend, the trail rises steeply. At the top of the slope is a wide, flat ledge. I stare at it, my heart racing like a shrew's. This place looks and smells familiar. A faint breeze drifts towards me, carrying the scents of earth and moss and berries and pine nuts. It's a smell I remember from long ago, and it makes me feel warm and safe. I creep to the top of the slope and peer over the edge. The sight of the bear cave whips the breath from my mouth. I recognise the shape of its entrance, the arc of rock worn smooth by the bear Serena's movements, and the tree roots breaking through on one side, forcing cracks in the glossy stone. My feet carry me up and over the ledge, and then I stop a few paces from the entrance, hands trembling. Hopes and fears swirl inside me. I hear the bear Serena breathing, a familiar, deep rumble. A pair of eyes flash in the darkness, and my heart stops. Bear Serena huffs out a cloud. A huge, heavy foot pounds onto the rocks. Slowly she walks to me, out into the light, muscles rippling, every movement full of power and grace. Strength radiates from her, and a calm contentedness, as if she knows exactly who she is. Right now, in this moment, I want to be just like her. Questions die on my tongue. The bear Serena's long brown snout reaches out. Her shiny black nose twitches as it sniffs the air between us. She grunts a deep, peaceful greeting and sits beside me. The massive mound of her body curves around my back, and I collapse against her. I know the feel of her thick, warm fur, and I know the pace of her breath and the sound of her heart beating deep in her chest. I slide my fingers through the fur of her neck, bury my face into her, how like I used to when I was little. I curl up until I'm a tight ball surrounded by her huge limbs. She turns, she licks my face with her soft, wet tongue, and I close my eyes. And all the years that have passed since I was here melt away until all that's left is a faint and distant memory of Mamochka in our house at the edge of the forest, far, far away, and this moment in which I finally feel like I belong. I'm not sure how long I doze. My coat digs into my shoulders and I wrestle it off. I'm hot and restless, all my clothes too tight. I lift the bear Serena's front paw and pull my jumper over my head. When I try and loosen the waistband of my skirt, it tears. It must have caught on something. But I'm more comfortable now. I sink back into sleep. My eyelids open and I squint against the light. The sun is low in the sky and the shadows long. My fur is damp with dew. I yawn and a shuddering growl reverberates through my chest and my skull. My whole body feels wrong. My head is heavy, so heavy, and my mouth is sticky, my lips loose. There's a cooler patch on my back where I was leaning up against the bear Serena, but she's gone now. I turn to look for her and my body moves strangely. It's cumbersome and it's too low to the ground. I try to push myself up, but I can't do it. I stare at my hands, each heartbeat booming, a booming explosion in my chest. My hands are paws like my feet, huge and round with long dark claws. My arms, my chest, my whole body is covered with fat and fur. The weight of my shoulders is a log on my back. I lift a paw to my face, but I can't bring myself to touch the two together. I already know what I look like. I'm a bear. She's fully transformed into a bear. That's the end of chapter 17. Heavens to Betsy. We will have to find out what happens next. We'll have to find out soon, won't we? But it won't be today, because that is the end of that chapter. And I need to get on with my stuff, and you need to get on with your stuff. So I will see you soon. Look after yourselves, and be good. Bye.